Welcome, one and all, to the Nat 13's Dreamworks Dungeons and Dragons. I am your dungeon. Woo! I am your dungeon master, August Schmid, and with me is the party that has yet to be named and truly officially formed, but it is you guys. Say hello, everyone.
Hello.
I am very excited. We have with us returning players from many different campaigns. Indeed, I could not be more excited. This is the original party from our Disney Dungeons and Dragons game. And we are now getting to start
OG for the win!
Right? Oh, geez.
Yes.
I'm so excited to do this game. For those that are not aware, this is Dreamworks. And without further ado, I would like to invite you all to the world of Dremor. What we see first and foremost in this beautiful, inky black sky is a singular moon, hovering high in the heavens, crescent-shaped, bringing down around. From this moon, we watch as it slowly descends, the camera panning ever downward, past cloud layer and star, to the world of Dremor. Dremor, of course, being a high fantasy world, continents spread across vast churning oceans, mountain ranges and valleys cutting and growing like giant cracks upon this crooked globe. We find ourselves zooming in towards a very northern central continent. Indeed, we see the Blackwood, high pine and fir and coniferous tree stretching like an ocean of wood across miles upon miles of land. The Blackwood is home to many different creatures, beasts that crawl, fowl that fly, and even stream and water where aquatic life finds the way around this intricate woods. Towards the southern end of the Blackwood, but almost as we see it veering eastward, is a small city by the name of Keld. As we see Keld stretches not higher than the treetops, but almost unanimously lateral, as the wood here being built from the very bark of Blackwood creates a almost camouflage effect with the city. Moss and stone have grown in and around Keld for the past couple of centuries, and we see that carts containing creatures, persons, trundle their way out of Keld down towards the kingdoms of the Mediterranean, and even some very brave sleds pulled by antelope, dog, and other magical creature venture off into the frozen waste. Keld is a brimming city full of intricate and various life. But before I can explain too much of Keld, we are going to need to make the first roll of the campaign. I'm going to do this in the dice tray because we need to see what the weather is like today, as weather is actually rather important to this campaign. Ooh, 26.
Shoot.
Dark clouds cover the horizon, as wind blowing at about 12 mile an hour really picks up and bites into the cloaks of the creatures and people here. We are currently in the coldest month of Dremor. This high winter season has been very difficult for many people here. Not much is willing to grow, and so many trappers and hunters rely on meats and furs in and out of Keld. As the wind blows and bites, we do see, though, an open market stall of these trappers. Now, the stalls in Keld are currently positioned on the outside of the city, as it would be rather foolish to put them inside the forest itself for fear of dangerous monster or creature, and also inside the city, more of itself, is still very much its own metropolis, needing spaces for people to live and work and eat and breathe. In this outer city, where we can see flatlands of the frozen waste etching out for many, many miles, we find individuals moving through the market stalls. Weapons masters, hunters, agriculturalists, each hawking their wares. And let's see, like we did once so many years ago, who we are going to greet first. I did that wrong. A 4. How ironic and beautiful symmetry. Now, out of the many humanoids here in Keld, we do see that some are not human. Many have long teeth, skin that is green and brown, eyes that change of different shape and color. But there is a rather interesting figure we will see as Tice. Would you like to introduce your character and maybe what they look like currently in the market?
Okay. So, carefully prowling through the market, you see I guess we're doing standard, he's comparably sized to everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You see a very majestic and pristine white peacock wearing traditional royal silver robes. He is strutting and slinking through the different stalls and wares, keeping an eye out for specific pieces of merchandise.
Interesting. As Shen, moving your way through this market stall, I would ask, it is a cold morning, but your robes and feathers do offer much comfort against the elements. What do you think you would be looking for in the stall currently?
In the different stalls, I'm mostly keeping eyes out for, I'm not a gunsmith at all. I would be looking for basic types of gunpowder anything representative of powder, as well as different types of oils and ground herbs per se.
Perfect. Go ahead, give me an investigation check, as powder is something very interesting in the world right now, especially black powder.
Yes, yep, there is. Black powder is what it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To make that check, do I just go into the moon campaign? I might have missed how this happened.
Oh, you're good. You can actually make the check from your D&D Beyond character sheet. Where on the character sheet you should be able to click on the number advantage that you have, and it will show it up in the campaign dice tray for everyone. And if not, we can of course work on rolls later, or linking it later.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just see if it works. Let me find the character sheet. There we go. Investigation.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Yes. Rolled in the dice tray a dirty 20. Well done. Shen, in the market, your eye would catch, because you see, unlike many of the more humans here, there is a small, very furrowed brow boar who seems to be in a stall, and what catches you is the Chinese language written on the stall. Usually you would see common. So noticing this, your eye is drawn, and you realize that the boar here, with tusks bristled around, has small bags labeled black powder in front of him.
I'm going to approach this boar then, keeping an eye on the black powder. I would be speaking in, then I guess, Chinese, if that is a viable language. Then, just do tell me, is your black powder adequately refined?
You see the boar looks up. Ah, so you're from China as well? Didn't think I would see anyone out here from the ancient lands.
No, business brings me here.
Very well. Well, I can assure you, my black powder is of beautiful refinement. You see, he, at this point... Oh, yeah?
I would like to investigate it myself, actually. Even if it's not readily available, I would like to move towards kind of sliding some between my feathers.
Yeah, go ahead. You can even make a check, and I will start describing. You dip your finger, and you see the boar allows you to. It's kind of that common, like, oh, if you're from China, you know what you're looking for. Just based on quick tactile, like, with your feather, the black powder seems rather pure just on like a passive perception. Everything in it seems to have been manufactured. Saltpeter has been refined down. Impurities, other like rock and dust that sometimes can ruin black powder, have been carefully sifted. To the point that you can even tell the bags that is being kept in are of a quality leather to prevent any chafing, sparking, because if that goes off, you would never want your black powder to A, be affected by the elements, or B, ever accidentally ignite.
Definitely. Which check were you saying that was?
I'll say, still make me an investigation check, though, just to, like, really see. Ooh, all right. On a 14, it is fine black powder. And so the next sentence you hear does seem to confirm a bit of maybe that like unfortunate suspicion. You see, I only sell the best of quality coming from China. And especially with the state of the world right now, I would say it's a fair deal. I will only charge you 25 silver pieces for a bag.
I see. This is quite refined. Are you familiar with Gongmen City, Boar?
You see that he's gonna make a quick history check. You see, he kind of Gungmen. Yeah, I have family that have gone through Gungmen.
Then you would recognize my place in the royal house. Imagine that you could be of service.
His eyes do seem to.
I will pay you 25 silver pieces and some extra, but please provide a little bit of additional on top, if you will. Please note as well that my presence here is not currently being noised about.
The boar does seem to kind of nod haphazardly, just, I did not expect someone of your quality here in Keld. Please, he will, package it up. He is going to give you a second bag of black powder. Each of these bags being that almost quarter-pound feel in the hand, but we know if ignited or utilized in other weapons and stuff can become quite deadly in terms of dice. He will offer a second bag, just very well. Please, as he offers the 2 bag, both of them for only 30 silver. It's all yours.
Um, I I will definitely palm the 2 bags and leave behind the 3 gold pieces.
You leave behind the gold pieces in the stead. As you turn and kind of that, again, deft swirl, very graceful. We are now going to move over to a different character. No longer, again, after seeing this peacock, it does seem to be a human we are seeing. Now much more humanoid, as the majority of Keld do seem to be humans. But moving through the marketplace, Megan, would you like to introduce your character, maybe what they look like, and what you're up to in this marketplace?
Yeah, so my character is a taller woman, right? She's got a larger frame. She very much is dressed in a lot of those like heavy furs, like you think she definitely is native to like a more northern area, colder place. And she's got golden dragon scale armor on right now. And she is in this market probably looking for like notice boards, like announcement type things of like, hey, are there any like bounties or info about like nearby dragon sightings or like stuff for me to check out?
Yeah, go ahead. Make me a perception check, I'll call it. 12. On the 12, this woman in her armor, you slowly turn your eyes, noting the people, the places. You do find far at the end of the stalls a bit of a haphazardly made notice board. Tripod almost in design. It seems like someone just a big race creature kind of drove big old logs into the ground, and someone strung up the canvas around, and people just started pinning things. The notice board seems rather full. You do find what seem to be 2 notices of dragons in the area, one of which seems to be located far more into the Blackwood. A notice of a dragon that was hunting travelers along the pilgrimage road up to the temple out of the Blackwood to the north. But you also see that there was notice of a dragon farther down into almost the northern waste, like far southeast. A dragon that has been preying on people pilgrimaging to Thor's temple down there. And so I think that's why maybe catch the eye, because currently they're being labeled as these temple dragons. Like, please, it's becoming difficult and dangerous to make this travel. If you have any knowledge, what you would notice immediately, the dragons are marked down for market price. uh, and passive history, Valka, that a market price means if either of these dragons are a wormling, you're already looking at 100 gold pieces. If these dragons are into their adolescence or young, we are looking into 500 gold. But you do know, if they're anything like adult dragons, you are looking at hopefully 100 platinum. But at that point, that is dangerous even for a solo hunter like yourself to take on adult dragons in the area.
Cool, 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 cool. But there's probably no way of finding out what it is until I've seen it, right?
Exactly. It more seems like people that have gone didn't come back, and everything about this is like, we know they're there, but if you find them, bring them here into town. There's not a lot of heavy details, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Um, could I make some checks to like like heading towards the area of the one in the Blackwood's probably closer, right?
In theory, yes.
If I started heading out of town in that direction and made some checks, would I be able to like find tracks or traces and try and judge based on like what it's left behind, like how old it is or how powerful?
Yes, actually, what I will say is to start this off, go ahead and give me a nature check, and I will say you can make this with advantage. Even though you're not like a ranger type role, this is a quote unquote favorite enemy. Doing with advantage, what you can do on D&D Beyond, you can either roll twice or you can right click, and it will give you the option to do advantage.
Well, it already had marked down that I have advantage. Does that not
Oh,
do it automatically?
oh yes. So you just click on the little dice then that gives you advantage.
Yeah, that's a 16 then.
16 is still rather good. Valka, on a 16, the winds are starting to pick up. Dragons are airborne creatures. You know it would not be smart to go now, mostly because if this weather turns poorer, you're going to be stuck out in the elements and probably be a sitting duck. On top of that, even dragons probably wouldn't be out in this kind of weather right now. Only very specific dragons enjoy bad weather, shall we say.
Mm-hmm. Does that kind of wait until tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. This could be a next day adventure or a next day hunt.
Okay. In that case, I'll probably just like try and find some accommodations in the town and get rest before.
Excellent. As you move through, you move directly past another figure that seems to have just kind of entered in, who's now looking able to see the call board, some of the other stuff. Adrian, would you like to introduce your character and maybe what they look like and what they're doing right now?
Sure thing. My character. Wait, let me make sure my sound is excellent. Okay, yeah, we're good. My character has really silvery gray skin, white hair with pretty messy bangs, and she is dressed in very brightly colored clothing, and she really just looks zoned out. Like she's walking around, just kind of enjoying the feeling of being in the market. If I'm looking for anything, it's probably going to be like if there's any sort of fortune tellers, or if there's anything for trying to specifically shape your fortune, like anyone who's a soothsayer, things like that. Like she is pretty zoned
Yeah.
out. She's kind of crazy.
A bit of a zonk going on, just that like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it. Yeah, go ahead, give me an investigation check looking around some of the people here.
All right. Well, that is far too good for what I was expecting.
You're good. Honestly, a 19 is still really good.
No.
On a 19, Minareth, you feel compelled to be here. It is neither
I've been waiting for this feeling.
It's neither a physical feeling nor is it an emotional feeling. This is a magical feeling. Something about this small market town outside of the city of Keld seems compulsive in nature, as if your very essence needs to be here. I will let you know. Oh, so sorry. I was just gonna say I will let you know. A 19 is really good, but there was a higher DC 20 for something in particular you could have spotted.
Dang. Well, then what I'm going to do is close my eyes, kind of just put my hand over my heart and just walk blindly and see if I'm drawn to any direction in particular.
In fact, you are. As you start feeling yourself kind of walk and are drawn, you eventually find yourself, Minarith, bumping into someone, or rather a humanoid creature. Now, before I tell you who this humanoid creature is, Elle, would you like to introduce your character, maybe what they look like, and what you would be doing in response to just being bumped into?
Of course. So, my character's name is Adora. She is, not from around here. She's about an average humanoid. Blonde hair tied back into a very tight ponytail with a little bit of a poop at the top, like in the front. But it's a little bit frazzled, like she hasn't had time to really make it look nice for the past couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
She is wearing a cloak, kind of with the hood up, and trying to conceal her presence, but also kind of not, if that makes sense. She has her hand on some sort of hilt, and in regards to getting bumped into, she goes, hi, sorry, and and then she's gonna try to walk away.
I'm going to grab this person's back of their shirt and just say, "Oh, hello. I think I was meant to find you."
Hello. I guess, do you know anything about, and kind of looks back and forth and whispers, Syria?
Not at all, but I'm happy to find out.
Okay, great. I haven't found anything.
Can you say the last part again? I couldn't quite hear it.
She said 2 weeks and she hasn't found anything, and then kind of bangs her head into a wall a little bit, the slow, putting a head to a wall.
Let me help. I'm going to pull out my tarot cards, August,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to just plop down right where we've been standing and hold out some cards. Please pick one.
What is this?
We'll tell you your fortune. I've been practicing. Please pick one.
I mean, I guess. And she pulls one out.
Go
August,
ahead.
is there any card in particular you would like her to pull?
I actually think this would be much more fun. Elle, could you just go ahead and give us a typed roll, because you're going to roll 1d44.
Is this a deck of many things?
It is not. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I will, because I would have had to, had you state you were pulling one, officially. So go ahead, just make a D44.
Because the last time August brought a deck of many things to this group, I screwed him over.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That was beautiful.
So how do I then roll that? Write it in the chat.
You roll that, but just exclamation point and R together. Because, of course, shout out to the Avray bot that helps do, intricate rolls and character stuff.
I messed that up. That's on me. Honestly, it fits the character a little bit. It's fine.
Keeps trying to grab a card, and you keep grabbing, the whole deck, and then,
I'm trying to... gosh, why are your cards so slippery?
But no space in between the exclamation point and the R.
Okay, I dropped another one. I am so sorry. I'm a bit of a klutz.
It's all right. Those ones were not meant to be.
There, I got one. Here it is.
A 32. I'm going
I'm so
to
excited to see what this is.
check that real quick.
Oh,
While I
card
do
says
so,
32. No,
the card is just the number 32. No. As this starts, you both kind of pull in, start looking at the card. I will actually say, while this is happening, we do cut to another creature, but this
Good.
creature is not as big as the ones we've seen before. Rebecca, would you like to introduce your character and maybe what your character looks like and what do you think you're doing here in the market today?
I'm 8 inches tall, and I am a cookie. And I am trying not to get lost in with the bakery goods and pastries of people's things, and trying not to get stepped on.
I love it.
Running from the occasional person trying to eat me, because people don't understand that cookies have feelings.
I love it. Moving in around, every so often having to avoid footsteps and people. Gingy, as you move through the marketplace, would you be so kind as to make me a religion check?
Ooh.
14. Did that come through?
It didn't.
Why didn't it come through?
Didn't go through. We'll check that in a moment. The important thing is on the D&D Beyond campaign link, I can see that it still occurred. We just might have to make sure everything gets imported later on. Gingy, on a 14, you stop as you feel your gumdrop, this little holy gumdrop that you carry with you, glows in this kind of beautiful purplish light just for half a moment. Gingy, the last time your gumdrop even thought to glow was back when you were with the Muffin Man.
I'm feeling nostalgic and a little royal icing teardrop falls from my eye.
Oh, that's so sad. You feel the little teardrop plink. It quickly freezes and is blown away by the wind. But as you do so, your gumdrop glows again. As cutting back, Minarith and Adora, both of you looking at the card you pulled, I can't make this up. I just checked my document list. Card number 32, you pull it out, and it is a moon.
No way.
Oh, well, that's
What? So cool. I'm
Interesting.
sorry.
You're good. No, that is wild. But because you pull the moon, which can mean a lot of things, but there is something very in particular it does mean. I need every single character to roll me a Constitution saving throw at this moment.
Oh, what
Okay.
now?
Oh shoot.
Pourquoi? Con save? Oh, great.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
Don't like that.
oh my
Well,
goodness.
yeah, you have advantage.
I love that all the rolls tonight are not great.
Oh my heavens.
Did we all fail?
Doesn't bode well.
I am.
Hey, y'all ready for a TPK?
No! I like this character, please.
Oh no, and Gingy got a 9. Oh my gosh. 9,
Okay, no.
14.
Minarith got the highest of all of us.
Minarith did
That's a
get the highest.
problem.
What a way to start a campaign, if I'm being honest.
No. I'm so sorry for bringing tarot cards into this.
No, I think that's so great, honestly. I feel like
All of you stop as the 5 of you in this market stall feel something deep within the back of your mind pulse. Adora and Minorith, as you're looking at the moon card pulse, Gingy, you feel the gumdrop pulse. Shen, as you walk away from the black powder stall pulse. Valka, taking down these 2 dragon pulsers, looking out the waist, pulse. Each of you hear the exact same voice in the back of your head say the following words. Awake. Awake and know that the coming of the Lord is nigh. Each of you hear these words, and Minorith, you succeeded the DC 12. What for the rest of you, Gingy, Shen, Adora, and Valka, the world seems to stop, and almost like, to give kudos to the recently released Dungeons & Dragons movie, the world seems to start slowly blurring and coming out of focus. Lines and shadows seem to overlap and bulge and rescind into a completely physics-defying landscape. Minorith, what you see, each character that I've described, suddenly their eyes start glowing white. Before Minorith, even your eyes cannot help but resist the brightness, and you too start seeing the world spin and bulge and glow. Each of you find yourselves in a perfectly blank room. Now, I'm going to say this very carefully one at a time. This room is blank, but we will start in order of the checks. Minorith, what would the floor look like to you?
Honestly, the floor would be far, far away, and I would be on the side of a cliff.
All of you then note, suddenly, the floor seems gone. You're on a cliffside, high out amongst the stars. Moving our way through, Valka, what would the ceiling look like? Now that you know what the walls are, what does the ceiling look like to you?
I imagine a ceiling where it's just like black night with brilliant stars, and I'm like looking up into constellations that I recognize from home.
Yes. Night sky constellations start swirling on this cliffside. Gingy, as you see this now materialize, becoming very real to your own eyes, what is the atmosphere right now that you think it should be?
Probably be like the smell of fresh bread and muffins in the oven and jam being prepped to go into donuts and turnovers and
Yeah. All of you can suddenly smell beautiful baked goods. Your olfactories now sending signals to your mouth, watering with the fresh pastry and sweets. Adora, what do you think you would hear right now?
I think it would be it would be the laughter of a young child, or as you listen closer, 2 young children running through an echoing hallway. Then it would be laughter of a few older voices, maybe not yet matured, not yet adults, with the sound of a waterfall behind them, and almost like how wind chimes kind of shingle, but like that with lanterns and
Mm-hmm.
just kind of things she would want to hear. And then
Yeah.
one rings a little bit clearer is just the laughter, a laugh of a specific person.
As you all then start hearing laughter and chimes dance around this cliffside, finally, Shen, what
Yep.
do you think you feel? Because while it seems that we are on a cliffside with grand astrological signs above us, the smell of baked goods and the laughter of children in your ears, what do you think you would be feeling, though, tactily, like the actual physical world around you? What do you think it feels like right now?
I guess he would be feeling a warm, like the warm heat off of a fire with a cold, a very contrasting cold breeze or cold wind.
Yeah. I love that. As the scene unfolds around you, almost like ink dipped into water as it spreads, each of you see the cliffside, the stars above, the wind that seems to push and bring a coolth to your face, but the warmth still on your fingers and chest, the smells of fresh baked goods, and the sounds of children's laughter echoing somewhere ethereally. All of you stop and realize you are not at a marketplace right now, but have suddenly just emerged into something new, something strange. No check needed. All of you will realize you are not alone here. As turning around, opposite this cliff face and star, you see a man. This man is wearing a simple duster coat that stretches long down below the knees. The hair is a brilliant, shocking white, bringing down a very sharp face, leading along through the checkered shirts worn, bringing down the boots seem to be laced up to mid-calf. But what strikes you all is the eyes of a man that are completely and utterly marble white. They do not glow and they are not bright, but they are encompassing. This man stops and is staring and looking at you all. Here's what I'll ask. What would anyone like to do or say?
Who are you?
Scream.
Yeah.
We're aware of the other. Are we aware of the other people too?
Yes, you are.
So it's not individual. Okay.
Um,
Glancing around at kind of the others, and I kind of want to get a gauge on this new person.
Mhm.
Just kind of, are they ill-intended, or is there other types of intentions? That's kind of what I'm going for.
I love it. Go ahead and make me an insight check. As the rest of you, Gingy kind of screams. Everyone looks around. A 21. Oh, I love to see it.
Nice.
Shen,
Good roll.
the being in front of you is powerful. It is not the way they hold themselves. It is not the way they physically appear, but there is power behind those marble eyes. The being in front of you doesn't hold ill will, but rather looks to be ready to speak. And that whatever message is being spoken is to be interpreted by you.
In that case, I'm going to speak to him and say, "Excuse me, can you tell us where we are?"
The man stops, looks at you, Shen, and looks at the assembled group of you five. The first words that escape his lips are the words you all heard. Awake. As he continues speaking, awake, and now that you are here, receive the words which I will speak unto you. Hear my voice, and know that I am a messenger. I have been known by many names across many lifetimes. You may simply call me Gabriel. I bring a message. This message is not from me, for I am simply a servant. I bring you a message from the great intelligences and gods above. Be warned and hearken. The day is coming that the world must be destroyed. The heavens have seen the darkness of the land. But rejoice. And at this point, he looks at each of you in your eyes, and you feel the truth behind them. Your stories have been deemed worthy to be saved. Your lives are thus made in an image to be captured. But this cannot be done now. The process of your salvation would kill you. Therefore, prepare and find necessary accommodation to become ready for the day that the gods destroy this world and all inhabited in.
I see. Thank you.
What did Eleanor say?
Can I make an insight check to see if there's anything familiar about this Gabriel?
Please
The way
do.
that his eyes look? Thank you.
I will actually say you may make me an insight check. Minorith may make me an insight check. Valka may make me an insight check. And Gingy can make me an insight check.
Never mind.
Basically, everyone but Shen. And that is also, Shen, you made this insight check before.
Nope.
DM, I just want to tell you how much I hate these false dice.
Okay.
And I want to stick to the gospel of the true dice.
Listen.
I know, right?
Listen.
Hey, question. Would Adora or Minareth possibly get advantage for the whole tarot card fiasco?
Do I have advantage?
I won't say there's advantage yet.
Okay. That's fine.
And Gingy with the 21. I was just looking at that.
Gingy is the most enlightened out of all of us.
Gingy knows. Gingy.
It's the power of real dice.
Gingy, you look into these eyes, and though the cadence is different, the physical stature is different, this man, this Gabriel, seems to remind you almost of the Muffin Man. to some degree.
I'm gonna ask him, do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
I'm sorry.
I am just clapping and laughing over here. Yeah, I was waiting for it. Gingy, do you know the Muffin Man? I need you to make me a
Oh my gosh.
Where did that come from? That wasn't me.
You gave us
Hey,
the
seriously?
Oh, the
Guess
bot.
what? We all have soundboards.
I just realized the bot. Here's what I would say, Gingy. Can you make me a persuasion check in this moment? Just to kind of get some answers here. 20 on a nat 20?
What? I.
No
See,
way.
this is proof.
Yes.
A natural
Yes.
20.
I love this so much.
We are going to be starting in a really fun spot here in this campaign. The man looks at you.
Power of real dice.
Power of dice.
I
Gabriel
rolled muffins.
looks at you, Gingy. The Muffin Man.
Man,
Why do you know of this Muffin Man?
my father.
You see the eyes kind of crinkle just ever so slightly. Ah, it has been a while since I've heard of that name. But my brother Uriel did always have a penchant for food and creation. Now, as he looks at you, Gingy, you are one of his creations. But this is why you are here then. As he looks at all of you, and I'm going to say that nat 20 choosing to open this conversation, Gingy, you're going to get a point of inspiration because you have opened up something really big for this party. Gabriel looks at you all. The world is changing. Much can be done to either save it or destroy it. And know that we are not sitting idly by, but there is little we can do to interfere. Even now, and at this point, all of you watch. Thunder rumbles, deep and foreboding. Even in this imagined space that you all have created together, a shadow falls upon it. You see, Gabriel states, even now, much is being done to change the world. My form here will change as it has been taken, and each of you watch. Your eyes start slowly fading back. You see the true world, the true market in front of you forming. In it, you all see up in the sky that crescent moon, ever so slightly visible due to the fog and darkness, slowly starts bleeding red. Red forms, and you hear this voice. My form upon this earth must change. You must decide your fate, lest the world decides for you. As Gabriel's voice echoes back against your mind, each of you find yourselves into the market. a hush has fallen over the stalls as you realize this is not just your eyes seeing this, but each of you realize no time has passed, but that everyone is looking at a moon now red. And that's when the screams begin. And that's where we're going to end our session for today.
No.
Yes.
No. No.
Yes. Thank you all so much for playing. I thank you all, those that are able to watch and listen. And I will see you all next time.
Oh my gosh.